Today we're diving into something really fascinating, a national blueprint for building a human firewall. We're going to break down how an entire country is trying to forge a defense shield for its digital borders. Let's get into it. So, the whole story really kicks off with this one staggering number. Vietnam is staring down a shortfall of up to 700,000 cybersecurity professionals. And listen, this isn't just a small gap. It's a chasm. It leaves the country critically exposed.
And this is the real-world cost. That personnel shortage becomes devastatingly real when a local bank loses the equivalent of nearly $4 million in one night, all because there was literally no one there to watch the monitors. This is exactly what happens when your digital walls are left unguarded.
So, that brings us to the core question of this whole explainer. When you are so clearly outnumbered in cyberspace, how do you even begin to mount a defense? As you'll see, the answer isn't just about buying better technology. It's all about investing in people.
Okay, first things first. Let's get a really clear picture of the problem. We're looking at Vietnam's digital crisis, and it's best described as this deep, deep chasm between the threats they're facing every day and how ready they are to handle them.
And check this out. The problem isn't just about the sheer number of people. It's about their skills. A mind-boggling 89% of organizations in the country are just not considered ready to handle a real cyber incident. Sure, they might have IT staff, but what they're missing are combat-ready defenders.
And the fight they're in? It's against some very specific, very nasty threats. We're talking ransomware hitting critical infrastructure, huge data breaches leaking the info of millions of people, and yup, AI-powered attacks are already here. And you can see where the main battlefield is. Finance and banking are getting hammered.
All right, so with a crisis that deep, how do you even begin to fight back? Well, you architect a blueprint for defense. This isn't just about launching another training course. It's a full-on national strategy to build a talent pipeline from the ground up. And here's the really smart part of their strategy. The goal isn't to train a bunch of people from scratch. No, it's to find experienced IT professionals, network admins, developers, and rapidly upskill them into cybersecurity roles. It's way faster, it's more efficient, and it builds on the foundational knowledge they already have. The way they've structured this is honestly pretty brilliant. It's a hybrid model. So you get the flexible online theory that you can do on your own time, plus live virtual classes for that interactive piece. But the real game changer, the part that is absolutely non-negotiable, is the mandatory in-person labs. This is where you get your hands dirty in a real cyber range.
And this right here, this was a game-changing choice. See, instead of trying to compete with these super expensive English language programs that only serve a tiny elite, they decided to teach the entire course in Vietnamese. And with that one decision, they unlocked the vast majority of the country's existing IT workforce, the very people who need these skills the most. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty, the curriculum itself. This is all about forging those combat-ready skills. It's designed as a logical journey that takes a student from the absolute basics all the way to advanced offensive hacking techniques. So it's all built in these 4 really logical stages. You start with the foundations, the core principles. Then you move into defensive blue team operations, learning how to protect a network. From there, you'll learn to think like the enemy on the red team. And then, the final piece of the puzzle ties it all together, mastering Vietnam's very specific legal landscape. It's a complete skill set.
Now, let's talk about what I think is the program's secret weapon. It's what they call the Vietnamese Law Advantage. This is where they turn something that sounds kind of boring, legal compliance, into an unbelievably powerful tool for graduates. At the heart of all this is a law called Decree 13. It's Vietnam's tough, comprehensive data protection law, and it is incredibly specific about everything from how you get user consent to running impact assessments to a mandatory 72-hour window you have to report a data breach directly to the Ministry of Public Security. If you're a business, getting this wrong is a massive, massive risk. And if you want to know how serious they are, just listen to this one line from the law. Silence or non-response is not considered consent. It's strict, it's unambiguous. Understanding these local nuances isn't just a nice little bonus skill, it's absolutely essential. And it's something global training programs just can't replicate. And this is where it gets really hands-on. Students don't just sit there and read the law, they live it. They are in the labs drafting the official impact assessments, running drills to simulate that 72-hour breach report, and even writing corporate policies that are fully compliant. They walk out of the program ready to solve a huge headache for any company.
So after all that training, it all comes down to this: the ultimate final exam. And believe me, this is no multiple-choice test. It's a full-blown, high-stakes breach simulation.
The scenario they're thrown into is intense. Students are put in charge of defending this fictional company, V Corp, from a realistic, multi-stage attack that combines ransomware, data theft, and social engineering. It's basically a nightmare scenario stitched together from actual attacks that have happened in Vietnam.
The test itself breaks down into 3 key phases. First, you have to detect and stop the attack while it's happening. Then, you have to put on your detective hat and investigate, figure out how they got in and what they took. And finally, and this is so crucial, you have to report your findings not just to the tech guys, but to the C-suite, to the executives.
But here is the absolute genius of it. That final presentation? It's delivered to a panel that includes actual senior cybersecurity managers from major Vietnamese companies, potential employers. This quote just nails it. The exam is basically transformed into a high-stakes job interview where you prove you can do the job live, under extreme pressure.
So let's just zoom out for a second. The big takeaway here is that this was never just about training a few people. This is a strategic, national-level move. It's about building human capital infrastructure, a sovereign defense shield made of skilled people, built to protect the nation's entire digital future.
And that really leaves us with this one big thought to chew on. You know, we always hear that data is the new oil. Well, if that's true, then a program like this isn't just education. It's the answer to a critical question. How do you build the modern guard towers you need to protect your nation's single most valuable resource?